Hello everyone, I'm Brandon Joe with Game Changers, and today you'll be learning how to make a dueling game in which you can choose one of three difficulties and then fight an enemy based on which difficulty you chose. In this session, you should be comfortable with basic code flow in Tynker, control blocks and their functions, events and what they do, and sensing blocks. If these are not familiar to you, go and check out our tag game, which covers all of these. So first, you want to create a new blank block coding project. And once you do that, we need to get rid of all of this, since it doesn't have anything to do with our code, it just gives it to you. And I'm going to change the background on my stage and my costume for my actor, or our player actually. So to do that, you want to go to settings and then add costume and all that good stuff. So after you added your costumes, you want to readjust your player to be a little bit smaller since they can't really move that much if they're that big. So after you do that, we're going to add movement. So let's grab 4 when up arrow pressed. And then we're going to grab repeat while loops, and we're going to put that into each one. Then we're going to go to sensing, and we're going to grab key up arrow press and put that to where it says false when repeat while. So for these you can choose up arrow, left arrow, down arrow, and right arrow, or you can do W, A, S, and D depending on whatever you want to choose. I like WASD since you're a little scrunched up if you're using the arrow keys. So let me just change these. So once you change them to match with each one, so this one would be up arrow, then left arrow, down arrow, and then right arrow if you're using the arrow keys, we need to add the actual movement since this doesn't do anything alone. So you need to go to motion, and let's grab point towards and put that on every single one. And then we need to grab move 10 pixels. So we're going to change this one to the top edge. So basically this is saying that it's going to, when you press the W key, it's going to point towards the top edge and then move 10 pixels when you press W. And then you're going to change this one to the left edge since A would be the left arrow. And then this one to the bottom edge since S is the down arrow. And then this one should be the right arrow, or the right edge. And then this would be our right arrow. So once you play your game, you can see that your character is moving around a little bit fast. You might want to change that. I'm going to change it to 3 in each one. So this should be better. It's a more reasonable speed. For that, now we're going to make our enemy. So let's add actor, add blank actor, and then this will be our enemy. You want to add a costume for it since it's kind of nothing right now. So do that quickly. Keep in mind you don't have to choose the same costumes as me. You can make your player fight anything you want, and you can make your player anything you want, and your background. It's all up to you. This is your game. So let's make the bowl smaller, so it doesn't, when it moves, it doesn't cover the whole screen. And then we're going to delete the rest of this. So now, to make the bowl actually move, we're going to add on start, and then we're going to add forever, and then we're going to once again go to motion. We're going to grab point towards, and then we're going to grab move 10 pixels, and we're going to make it point towards the player, and it's going to always move 10 pixels towards the player, which as you can see, it's a little bit fast. It's kind of just on me now, so if you actually took damage, you would die instantly. So we're going to change this to like 2, which is that's still pretty fast. So actually, we're going to change this to 1. That should be better. See, you can actually run away from it now. As you can see, when you play your game, the cow's like doing these weird, going upside down, and it's not changing to left and right, and it's going upside down when it goes left. So to change that, we're gonna add on looks, or actually not on looks, we're gonna add in motion, and we're gonna grab set rotation style, and we're gonna change it to left right. So now it should only be left and right instead of up down or whatever. It looks more reasonable. It looks less wonky. And then we're also gonna change this to enemy. So now we're gonna add a bullet so you can actually attack the enemy. So let's add actor, add a blink actor, and then get rid of all this. And then add a costume for your bullets. So now that you got your actor, we're gonna move this to the bottom corner. We're gonna make that small. So we're gonna add when up arrow pressed. And we're gonna change this to mouse. So whenever you click the mouse or your trackpad, it'll create another one of these. So we need to go to control. We're gonna create a clone of the bullet. So as you can see, when you click, it actually doesn't create anything. This is because when you click the mouse button, the clone is being created some random place. So we need to add code. So when the clone is created, we need to make it go to the player. So let's go to motion. Let's grab go to and point towards. This will be for later, but right now we're gonna change this to player. So now the bullet should be created just behind the player. And as you can see, it's making the game very, very laggy. So we'll change that in a bit. We're gonna make these disappear so the game doesn't lag as much. So we're gonna change this to point towards the mouse, or it's already on point towards the mouse button. So we're gonna make it so it shoots in that direction. So to make it actually move, we're gonna add a forever loop. And then we're going to add motion and then move 10 pixels. We're gonna change that to like 1. So you can see the bullets are actually moving, but it's really hurting the game. So we need to change that. And we need to make it delete itself. So to make it delete itself, we need to go to sensing and we need to make a timer. So we're gonna reset the timer. And then we're gonna go into control, grab an if loop, throw it in the forever, so it's gonna keep on checking this forever, if loop, and we're gonna add this, or we're gonna add this actually. And we're gonna go back to sensing. We're gonna grab timer, throw it in there, and then change this to some small number. So this is how long your bullet's gonna last until it disappears. So every time you create a new clone, you're gonna restart a timer, and once that timer once it passes 0.2, it will delete the clone. So we need to actually make it delete the clone. So let's grab delete clone, delete this clone. Now your bullet should delete itself. So nothing's actually hitting each other, so let's make it collide. So let's go to your player on start, and we're going to get physics. So if you don't have physics here, you're gonna click the more, and then you're gonna click physics, and then it should be right there. We're gonna add start physics, and then we are going to add set active to true. So let's just type true, T-R-U-E. And then we need to do that for the enemy too. So a lazy way to do this would be to copy it. So just copy it. So right click on this thing and then copy it. Then you can just paste it. And paste it. In each one. So now they should collide with each other. As you can see, it's doing some weird stuff right now. Instead of shooting one bullet, shooting like 50 bajillion after you shoot like 3 times. So to fix that, we're going to go back to we're already in bullet. So we're going to change this. So we need to grab a if statement. I'm going to move that in there. Then go to operators. I'm gonna grab not false. I'm gonna put it right there. Then we're gonna go back to control, and we're gonna grab, where is it? Is clone. So it's gonna, since it's making multiple duplicates of every single bullet, so if it's a clone, then it'll create a duplicate. So as you're playing around with your game, you can see another problem. Every time you shoot the bullet, it hits your player too, since it spawns on your player and then moves. So to fix that, we need to go to motion. We're gonna have move. I'm gonna throw it before the forever loop. And we're gonna actually grab this. I'm gonna move it in here instead and get rid of this. And we're gonna change this to false. So right when it starts, it's not gonna hit the player. And then we're gonna move the bullet, so let's say like 10 pixels. Is this good? Let me just test it. We'll see. We're gonna go back to physics, and we're gonna grab set active, and we're gonna change it to true. And since the code, all of this code happens at the same time, we need to add wait. So let's go to control, grab wait, and we're gonna put it right here. I'm gonna make it wait for 0.1 seconds before it starts hitting things. I want to make this. I actually want to make this bullet invisible since you just don't want it sitting there. So on start, looks. We're gonna go to the bottom, and we're gonna hide it, and then we're gonna show it when it starts. So we'll just throw it right here. So this should make it so it doesn't collide with your player. You'll be able to, well, it still seems like it's hitting the player, so you can make this a little farther. Let's just make it 100. That seems better. And you can see that the cow pushes you around and everything. Though the only problem is that you can see that everything slowly falls towards, see for a second, the bullet slowly curves towards the ground. That's because there's still gravity. So we need to change that code. So let's go to stage, events, on start, go to physics. We're gonna set the gravity to 0. So now everything should not be affected by gravity. As you can see, the cow is pushing you around, but you're not going towards the ground anymore. So finally, we're gonna add it so you can actually die, and the enemy can die, and your bullet can attack the enemy. So we need to add a variable called health. So you're gonna go to variable, we're gonna type in health. Make sure you're in player for this. And for this actor only, and then create. So now you have this little thing. So if you don't know what a variable is, you should go to, it's either part 2 or part 3 of Daniel. So whoever's editing this will add it to the top corner, the top right corner. So you should see that. So with this, we're gonna add health to the player. So on start, in here, we're gonna set the health. So we need to grab the set this blank to 0. We're gonna change this to how much health you want the player to have. So I'm gonna change it to 3. So it's basically how many times the cow can hit you before you die. And then we're gonna add do the same thing for the enemy. And then, yeah, so we're gonna create another variable, health, actor only, create, set this. So this is how much health your enemy has. So I'm gonna change this to like 8. So how many times they can hit with the bullet before they die. And then we need to make it so the health actually goes down when they get hit by things. So let's go to physics down here. And when actor collides, and then we're gonna go back to variables, and we're gonna find change. Oh, there it is. Oops. So change blank by 1. We're gonna change this to health. So this is how much damage they're gonna take. So you want to make it negative, because if it's 1, then you're gonna keep on adding health to them and they'll never die. So whenever they collide with something, their health is gonna go down by 1. So that doesn't mean anything. It's just gonna make this number just go down, but that doesn't actually destroy or delete the enemy. So we're gonna go to events and we're gonna grab when blank occurs, or false. Well, it says false right now, and we're gonna change this to an operator. So we're gonna go to operators, grab this little equal, and then we're gonna go to variables, grab health, change this to 0. So this is gonna run when your health is equal to 0, or when the enemy's health is equal to 0. And when the enemy's health is equal to 0, we are going to hide it. So let's go to looks and find hide. So right here, so grab hide. And we're gonna set, and we're gonna go to physics and set its active to false. So it can't hit things while it's hidden, because it's actually still gonna be here and it's still gonna chase you, but it's just gonna be, you can't see it and it won't hit you. So let's test this out. So if you hit the cow 8 times, it should disappear like that. So now we gotta make it so you can lose, because it's kind of unfair if you just kind of hit him and then he dies and then he can't win. So let's go to our player, and we're gonna do basically the same thing. So actually, you can copy this. So go back to your enemy, right click this, copy, and then throw it in here, because we're lazy. Coding is all about finding the laziest way to do everything, because it's so time consuming. So if you can find a way to make your life easier, then do it. So then you're gonna go enemy, copy this part, I'm gonna throw it into player. So this works since our variables are named the same. And let me just talk about this for a few seconds. So a local variable only works in that one like player or item in your game. So let's say you have this variable health and it's local, so it'll only work in here. It won't work in enemy, it won't work in bullet, stage, or whatever. It'll only work in player. But you can make it work in everything if you create a variable and then click for all actors. This will make it a global variable, which works for every single one. So you can change health in here, and then it changes health for everything. So we don't actually need that. It's just a little pro tip. So as you can see, your cow is still gone. It's not here still. I mean, it is still here. It just killed me, actually. But you can't see it, so we need to make it so you can see it. So let's go to enemy, on start. Let's go to looks. We're gonna grab show. Oops. We're gonna drag it up to on start. So on the start, it's gonna show the cow. And also we need to change that for the player, because when the player is still gone, because it disappeared from last time we played. This isn't like this for all code, actually. It's only for this for some reason. It's kind of weird. I don't like it. I don't like how if it hides it, then it stays hidden forever unless you change something in your code. So now, if you die, or the cow dies, you're dead right now, actually. The cow's just on you. So when you die, you should reappear when you play the game again. Or if you kill the cow... Uh-oh, I think the bullets are still hitting you when you spawn them. So let's change this to like 200, so you can't kill yourself. So that should work better. So, oops, I still died. So let me show you when the enemy dies. When the enemy dies and I don't die. Ah, alright. There you go. When the enemy dies, they'll reappear when you play the game again. So there you go. You have the basic functions of your game. You also can make it so you have more room to play if you make your character a little bit smaller, then make your cow smaller. So there you go. Now you have more playroom. Your bullets are still a bit big, so maybe we'll change that. Or we will change that, actually. Looks kind of weird, doesn't it? So we're gonna go to our bullet, and since you can't see it, and it's so annoying that it just stays. Your code doesn't reset afterwards, so we gotta show it. We can make this smaller. We'll make it like very small. And we're gonna delete this because we just made it so we could edit it. Because you can't edit it if you can't see it. So now, let's just play the game. Your bullet should be little tiny little balls. There you go. So that's it for today. You have a working game, and while you still don't have a menu or anything, it doesn't look too professional. It still works, and it's pretty good. However, you can always make it better. In part 2, we'll be adding a menu system along with words to show health and if you win or lose. Also, we'll be adding a difficulty system to make the game harder or easier.